Welcome back to the vlog. Come enjoy today's video.
That's one of the things that's kind of fitting about this, though, is the real life cherry blossoms don't really stay on that long, so, I mean, makes sense. Well, I'm assuming it's one right there. Then there's definitely at least one right there, or at least two right there. But either one bird pooped a lot, or a bunch of birds decided our handrail needed to be really ugly and gross. 36 degrees. I mean, I was about to say late June. I guess 2/3 of the way through June, which is, I don't know. I mean, it's decently past halfway. I don't know what you consider late in the month, but yeah, 36 degrees. And the funny thing is, it's supposed to precipitate. And you think about it, like, it'd probably be snowing right now. Obviously, it wouldn't be sticking. But, I mean, once you get up, like, another couple hundred feet where you're a little closer to the clouds, like, it would still be snow till there, and it ain't gonna melt that quick. For those of you who aren't from around this area where it can snow, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be freezing to snow, because if it's pretty close, you don't have to get too far. Like, up in the clouds, it's probably like, I mean, if it's 36 down here, like where the clouds are, it's probably mid-20s. So then it just doesn't get a chance to melt before it hits the ground, because it's probably only a couple hundred feet higher than where we're at now, where it's still freezing. But because it's above freezing, it doesn't really stick. You end up with kind of a slushy mess if it snows really hard. But it's like, with this though, I'm like, oh, we're getting so close. Snow on the 4th of July, it'd be awesome. And someone might think I'm nuts, but playing with firecrackers and stuff in the snow is so cool. When I was a kid, I'd always hoard some and play with them in the winter. Like, once we got our first snow, I'd go outside and I'd put up like little walls, and then like leave the snow pristine in the middle and divide it in half, and then like take the screen out of my bedroom and throw firecrackers out the window without looking, and then like go out there later, and whichever side had less damage won the battle. They're almost done with the guardrail project, but I'm a mile past the end of the guardrail and they still have their cones set up. And I mean, it's like, I assume they're not adding it, because like by the point those cones end, it's like the two lanes are perfectly level with each other, with the, obviously the ditch in the middle, but like, it's not like there's a drop there anymore. So I don't think they'd be extending it. Who knows though, the world's so stupid now, and the government likes wasting money so much. You never know. Oh my God. I think the last time I actually documented it, just because they didn't make literally any progress, I was like, what's the point? So I didn't do it like 2 or 3 trips in a row. But they got the other one roughed in 2 months after they started. I mean, it's probably like 2 months and a couple of weeks at this point, to be honest with you. Losers. I would bet $5,000 they do not have the other one paved. Even though it was like, I mean, it probably still needed a little bit more dirt, because it's like, they didn't have it quite fully ready to pave. Yep, told you. Because I don't remember. Maybe, that'd be dumb though. I was going to say, because it looks like it's still graded into the middle, but, and I was going to say, like, unless they leave them like that, but I don't think they do, because that would leave like a very large risk of a puddle in the middle. And when you have like people crossing over to the opposite side of the highway, that's not the time to cause a hydroplaning hazard. See, this proves a point where I don't know what exactly they were doing, because they literally had like one of those, oh, maybe there was a turnaround there that they were taking out or modifying. That might have been what it was. But like this one closer to Helena, where I was like, what the heck, why are they putting in another one of those turnarounds? And now that I see it, yeah, like literally a week and 2 days, and they basically have theirs where the other ones were like, are now that they started 2.5 months ago. Like, that proves how quick those can be done. And like my dad said, the ones over by Deer Lodge got done in like a couple of days a piece. I don't know. It's intriguing, because I don't know how they keep their jobs, because that's like the spot right after where you get off the exit, where I was kind of like, oh, there's construction going on here now too. They've got that whole thing like done. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they've got it like where it's all like level and ready to be built on already. It's like, I don't. Well, and I mean, this is... why are these cones still here? What's happening? This is going to make this last little bit of this trip every day incredibly bad, because people between the other crossover, because the people between Boulder and Helena, and then like Montana City and Helena, are really bad. Like, they're almost as bad as the Helena drivers themselves, who are the worst I have ever encountered. And I've driven in, LA, Salt Lake, Denver, Seattle, any other big cities? I don't remember. Probably. And then, like, all over North Dakota, which had people from all over the place coming for the oil field, so... Congratulations, Helena. You're beating a lot of people on being the most terrible drivers. Alright, I guess a lot of out-of-staters that are around here beat the Helena people, but I guess it depends what your definition of bad, because, like, for me, it's like being terrified. Like a dude in a 1-ton long box quad cab, so a thing like longer than a limo that like sits as high as the TRX. There's like the spots, I've mentioned this, where like there's a cut for the gutter, so like the water will run across the street, continue to run across the street smooth, like from gutter to gutter. A dude in that truck just like got on the brakes and went over that thing like 3 miles an hour. Like, I mean, yeah, like from a like crashy bang bang like you get out of Californians, they're not bad. But when it comes to like, I'm not sure which pedal's which, so that one, oh my god, I just about said in the middle. You think any of these idiots have the middle pedal? But the one that should be in the middle, but is on the left, I'm just gonna I'm gonna use the crap out of that one. And that one on the far right, like, I'm never gonna touch it. I'm just gonna lift off I just about said middle one again. The left one, and like let the car unless it's like steep up, like I'm going uphill steep, it'll roll eventually. Like that. I get like, because if someone like driving something like our car like drove across one of those little gutter things really slow, because there's a couple of them in a couple spots in town where it's like, even if you slow down pretty good, it'll like drag that stupid air dam thing a little tiny bit. So it's like, yeah, if you're in a car or something, I could see, especially if you're like new to the area, or like you mostly stay down in the flats or something, like being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be careful because I'm not familiar with this. But like, dude, that'd be like me taking it slow in the TRX. I mean, I guess my suspension's much better in that truck, but still, like, what on earth? Like, yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like that's just, as long as they don't hit me, or, like, there doesn't happen to be a crash in, like, the path I'm trying to take all the time, the crashy bang bang you get out of Californians is way better, because it's like, like, as long as you aren't the one they hit, what does it really do? Nothing. Doesn't bother me. But, like, with this, it's like, okay, yeah, you got to try to add, like, 25 minutes to every drive, because these idiots think that, like, being, like, the slowest person on the planet is a great idea. So with the AC needing charged, I just turned off the auto altogether. So I just didn't screw with it today. And as I was showing, it was like mid-30s. I didn't think I was that cold because my torso and stuff was fine. Now that I'm walking, I realize my feet are numb. Cool. Interesting bonus when life becomes a complete clusterfuck. You get to be the one that turns on the hallway lights at your work. I've never done that before. I was like, what the heck, the hallway's dark. I'm like, turn on one light, keep going. So is this part. What the hell? First one here, at this end at least. So, I got a notification while I was at work that Nintendo is doing a Direct in the morning at 8 a.m. I'm assuming that's like evening in Japan. Yeah, because that'd probably be like 5 or like, oh no, I don't know. I feel like that'd be like midnight. Or is there that many time zones over the ocean? Because I know there's like the Pacific time, then Alaska, Hawaii, which I'm pretty sure are different time zones. I don't know, I've never been to Hawaii, and don't really have too much reason to care about Hawaii's time zones. So yeah, I mean, like, there'd have to be like 8 over the ocean, which I guess is reasonable in theory. But that's the thing, I don't like London's like 7 or 8 hours different, which I guess is like really pretty far west in Europe. So go to the complete opposite end of that Eurasia group of continents. I guess that would kind of make, well, because that's what I was thinking. It's like the same but backwards, like roughly the same as London, but the opposite direction. Because then that would make it 8, which would be midnight there. But irrelevant. I don't know. That's the thing. That's like, the Switch was announced kind of before they switched to be doing like, switched to doing the direct style thing. So it's going to be really interesting because, like, they haven't announced a console since they've been doing the directs. What the heck is that? Okay. So I don't know, like, if it was a console, if they'd be like, yeah, like, tell you like a week or 2 or 3 in advance and be like, there's going to be a big one. But it's like, I mean, they'll probably show the next wave of Mario Kart tracks, which I think is the next to last one, and probably racers, because since they added Birdo at the last group, now there's 4 question marks. So, I mean, with 2 more waves, in theory, there should be 2 more new racers per pack. And then there should be an update on Metroid, because it was like, I think it was like 2017 or 18 when they announced that, and then it was like 2 years in, and they like restarted development. But if I'm right about that, that means it's about 4 years in. And they gotta say something about Mario. It'd be really cool if they said something about Donkey Kong too. But imagine that, if it's like a Mario and a Donkey Kong at launch for a new, and Metroid at launch for a new console that they announce tomorrow. Like, they announce a console and those 3 games coming at launch. Like, and a version of Tears of the Kingdom for the new console. That would be a pretty dominant showing based on the shows that have happened so far.
So out of curiosity, I looked up the Japanese time difference from Butte, and if it was 8 a.m. here when the direct started, it was 11 p.m. in Tokyo. It's kind of weird.
What? Like, because I was like, I'm like, why would it be at 7 on the West Coast? Like, that seems really weird. And then I was like, well, yeah, and then I'm like, well, they're a Japanese company, and then I'm like, I was just like kind of roughly guessing, and I'm like, it's probably like 12-ish. So then I'm like,
you're only off for an hour, you did good.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, that, yeah.
But yeah, like, I get that, like, maybe their U.S. market is, like, more apt to watch it or something, but just, that seems weird to me to start their direct at 11 o'clock.
Like, New York City would have been 10 in the morning.
That's true, like, yeah, New York would have been, like, 10. So maybe they more people in the U.S. watch it than in Japan or something, but I don't know. Or they assume no one's gonna watch it live? Who knows?
I don't know how well you can see that, but there's one line of water going down the back window. I mean, eventually, obviously, it would catch up. Oh, see, like, there it goes. That line just got a lot bigger, and there goes some more. But that's with it doing this for, like, literally the last, like, 4 or 5 miles. It's kind of incredible how, like, this car is aerodynamic enough that, like, for the most part, it cuts right through the rain without it even touching. It's kind of like that thing. I mean, obviously nowhere near that significant, but like on Mythbusters, where they did the thing where to see how fast you have to be going in convertible to not have any water get in the car, and it was like, I think even doing like 100, like over 100, it always, like, still got some in the back seat, but they got it where it was pretty minimal by the end. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, because even like in a minute of video, there's still only like 2 lines across the back, or like there's one spot where I guess it's kind of separated into like 3 or 4, but it's like there's one thing about 6 inches wide on one side and then like one line down the middle. So it's kind of interesting that, I mean, obviously that's also not the same, because it's like in the thing on Mythbusters, they were like, you know, basically trying to go fast enough where they cut through the rain, because it's like, so that's talking about a vertical headrest and the back seat sitting roughly vertical, versus like the back window that's sloped. But yeah, it's still just kind of interesting. Okay, so this Nintendo thing's going to be very interesting, because I just looked it up out of curiosity. Or just kind of like read more, and they're usually really, really transparent. It says they're going to focus on Switch games coming this year. So, it did say, like, I was being a little bit lazy because it said, like, including blah. Let me actually go click it. Oh, including new details on Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is like a month away, so they aren't going to talk about that too much. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, because, I mean, the thing is, though, is it's 40 minutes, which is one of their bigger ones, so it still wouldn't be hard to, like, at the end be like, oh, by the way, yeah, we're talking about stuff for this year, there isn't much, but in March, the new system comes out, and we'll be doing it, like, they probably wouldn't say much about games for it, but be like, we'll do, then, you know, like, have another direct, like, November, or something, for like a few months before it comes out. Okay, this is June what? 21st.
First day of summer.
When did they do that?
It looks really cool.
First day of summer.
When did they do that?
You need to get in.
Yesterday sometime, bud.
Can you buckle yourself?
When did Maseratis become popular in Montana? There's one that's been, or at least one, maybe 2 that have been in Anaconda a lot lately. That's kind of... Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and that's a Kalispell plate.
So they're probably not actually from Montana.
Who knows? That's what I was kind of wondering. It's like, because I mean, Kalispell's not like, it's not like Bozeman where it's like, okay, you got like a 40% chance they're not from here if they have that plate. But I don't know. Who knows?
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.